Welcome to another edition of Buy or Sell on Tech Sideline as we take a look at the upcoming matchup between Virginia Tech and Wake Forest. I'm Riley Klaus. Today I'm joined by Chris Coleman, Will Stewart, and Andy Bitter as we continue to take a look at what this matchup will look like. Nick Brown is producing our show today. If you're new to buy or sell, here's how it works. Every single week, we have 5 lines in which we will either say buy if we believe it will happen or sell if we think it will not. We release these as well at techsideline.com so you yourself can participate in the vote. So with all that being said, let's start by recapping what happened last week between the matchup with Virginia Tech and
No, you don't have
State.
to do that, Rob. You don't have to do that.
Absolute bloodbath last week.
The house finally started to get back and making money with Nick Brown, who set the lines, because let's take a look. Combined 65% or better red zone touchdown percentage, for the most part, did pretty well, with Chris, Nick, myself, and Will all gaining points on that one. Now, the quarterbacks combining for 65%. That did happen.
No, see, I like it so far.
Yeah, only Chris and
You
Nick
can quit right
got
now
that
as far
one
as
right.
I'm
The
concerned.
quarterback could have thrown the ball away a little bit more.
Yes.
Like they had taken all these sacks. Like, my goodness, like 3 throwaways, and that thing is under 65.
CJ Bailey did the heavy lifting on that one. Now, the teams combining for 325 plus rush yards. I was able to be the only one who got that one right, as it did not happen.
Terrion
That's
Stewart
only
almost had
because-
that by himself.
Only because of the sack yards. You take
Right.
away the sack yards, and
That's
you know,
what it
in
went
the
into
NFL that hits. I'm just saying.
And the pass yards as well, combining for 450 plus, that didn't happen either. Only Nick and the fans gaining points.
That
on
was a weird game in that really high completion percentage, really high red zone touchdown percentage, and yet the yardage wasn't there. And I thought they were going to go up and down the field against each other.
Everybody thought there would be more points in that game for the most part.
Yeah.
Even the announcers at kickoff were like, I think
Right.
this might be a shootout.
Right.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, combining for 6+ punts, that did happen. One except Nick and Will received points
Got on the board
that
this
one.
week
So
for that one.
once again, a pretty good week in terms of the house, trying to stump us a little bit, which in the standings makes it very interesting. Myself and Chris at the top at 64%, followed by Will at 60%. Then we have Andy at 56%, Nick at 52%. The fans with 48% and David with 44%.
David's going to win the Geo Heater Trophy.
Well, as we flip the page to Wake Forest, let's start talking about the matchup between the Hokies and the Demon Deacons. Line number 1, Wake Forest will have 13 plus first downs.
Well, I picked buy. Just, I don't know, kind of below 13. Seems a little bit low.
Chris, you sold it.
I sold it?
Am I right?
Yes.
Are you sure?
You are wrong.
Okay.
Now, wait a minute. Check your
This
DMs.
spreadsheet says buy. Spreadsheet
I'm
says
looking
buy.
at my answers to you on my phone.
My bad.
Okay.
I bought this one too. 13. I
So
don't know.
ignore the
I don't
graphics.
really look at first down totals too much. That seems low though. Yeah, they could get on penalties too, right? Those count for first
Very true.
downs for Wake Forest. I don't know. That just seemed like a low number. It seemed achievable, even though I don't expect them to do a whole lot offensively.
I bought it because that is a low number. They average 17 or 18 a game, and I know that Ashford might be hurt, but I bought it. The fans are buying it. We're about 1,200 votes in, so there's a lot of fan input here. The fans are buying it at a 52% rate, so they're almost split down the middle.
I'm buying it as well. So is David, but Nick is a lone wolf here. He is selling that line, so that will be interesting to see.
Right. You got a little updated graphic there.
Yeah, we go next to the Wake Forest offense, continuing with DeMond Claiborne getting 91 plus rushing yards in this contest.
I sold this one, at least according to my phone. What does the graphic say? Yes. All right. Good deal. Yeah. I think after seeing what Tech's rush defense did last week, I think they'll do a good job this week.
Yeah, on top of that, I think he's a little nicked up. So I think he got to 118 as a result of that overtime run, a 25-yard run in the overtime.
Yeah.
So he needed a little bit of extra time to get there last week. Tech's rush defense has done pretty well. They stifled Hollywood Smothers last week. Let's put it that way. So I think they can do it again. And you have the injury question mark with them. It makes it tough to get to 91 maybe.
Wow, I'm stepping out on a ledge here. I'm the only person buying it. First of all, the line came about, Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, that's what he averages per game, right, Nick?
Correct.
Yeah. I think I'm banking on Ashford being gimpy and them using Claiborne more. That's why I am buying. Fans are selling it at a 54% rate.
And as you said, Will, everyone else is selling it, but that could really help you out in the standings if that indeed goes down.
True.
Virginia Tech scores 6 different times in this game. Do you buy or sell that?
I sold it, so I've got them scoring 27 points. So unless they do it in some really strange fashion, then I've got them scoring, I guess, 5 times.
Have they done that against anybody other than Wofford this year? I don't think they have.
I don't think they have.
So I sold it because I don't think this is an offense that's just like peak efficiency right now, going up and down the field. And Wake Forest has been a little scrappy lately, so I sold this one. I had them at 27. I actually did this pick, and then I retrofit my prediction into the less than 6 scores. So I went with 27, which is 3 touchdowns in the field. 2
Nick,
field
you're
goals.
killing me with your graphics.
Everybody else is already.
Ditto to what Andy just said. I don't see Virginia Tech scoring 6 different times, so I backed into a score of 27, just like Andy. And the fans are selling it at a 76% rate, so they don't think Tech will score 6 different times either.
I also think 5 scores might be the give or take lucky number. David is going to sell it also, but Nick is buying it. He thinks they score 6+ different times. Well, we're going to have 2 more lines, but first, a word from one of our sponsors at Tech Sideline.
This episode of the Tech Sideline podcast is brought to you by Rich Web, your local provider of top-tier IT managed services. For 30 years, Rich Web has offered a comprehensive suite of cutting-edge solutions tailored to empower businesses of all sizes in today's digital age. From top-tier network engineering services, ensuring seamless connectivity and security, to our exceptional managed endpoint and cloud services, providing proactive maintenance and strategic optimization, we're dedicated to delivering excellence at every turn. Rich Web, driving enterprise IT. Visit richweb.com to learn more. Rich Web has proudly hosted TechSideline.com for over 2 decades.
All right, well, let's continue with line 4, which also involves a Virginia Tech offense. Virginia Tech rushes more than passes this week.
Unlike what the graphic says, I'm buying.
Now this is rushing attempts versus passing attempts,
Right.
not yardage. Just
Right,
make that
correct.
distinction.
Yeah. I don't feel great about this one because Montgomery seems pretty pass happy to me.
Yep.
But I think when you look at Wake's defense and they're pretty efficient against the pass, this seems like a better idea to run the ball this week, especially now that you know with 100% certainty what Stewart can do. So I'm buying this week, although I don't feel extremely confident on it.
I bought this one. The offensive line alignment they had last week worked pretty well. When your running backs are averaging 11.5 yards per carry, maybe need to get the ball more. I think that makes sense. And I think they'll be playing from ahead in this one, not necessarily have to go to the air as much. So, even last week with all the throwing they have, it was 34 passes, 31 rushes. So it wasn't like it was overwhelmingly on the passing side. So I think more rushes for this game.
Yeah, I've got the same logic as Chris. If you just look at the matchups, Virginia Tech should run the football, but the wild card is Phil Montgomery. Did you guys say that Virginia, of the first 16 plays against NC State, Virginia Tech passed 14 times?
Something like that.
Yeah, I believe that was it.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah. But maybe he'll have an epiphany after watching what happened against NC State. Fans are buying it at 70%.
I have the exact same logic a couple of you laid out. I think Montgomery could be a wild card, but I'm going to buy that one as well. But selling it are both David and Nick on this line. So those two are selling that one. And let's close it out with a player-specific line. Buy or sell that Isaiah Spencer has 50+ all-purpose yards.
Sell. And again, I think you have to ignore the graphic that's in front of you right now if you're watching. But I'm selling because as a wide receiver, I think Tech's going to run it more this week, so he'll get fewer chances. Wake has only allowed 4 punt returns this year. They punt it really short. Their net punting is low. Now, when they do allow the guy to return it, he's averaging 10 yards per return, so there is a possibility to break one against them. But you're talking about 1 return per game on average. So I just went ahead and sold that one.
Yeah, I like the opportunity in the punt return game to boost that yardage. I think you have some chances there. You don't need a ton of catches to then get over the 50-yard mark. So I bought this one. He's wearing Tucker Holloway's number now, so maybe there's some magic there in the punt return game that he's doing it.
I'm buying it as well. Last week against NC State, he had 38 yards receiving and 16 on punt returns for 54. So this is one of those lines that's kind of right there.
He's also going to make sure he catches the ball. There were a couple of times last week where he just backed away from it. Catches the punt. There was a time or two last week where he backed away from it and could have fair caught it, and it cost Tech some.
It was like 20 yards.
Yeah, pretty significant yardage. Yeah, so it's better opportunity, of course, if he actually fields the ball. He seemed a little hesitant last week, but that's something to work on in practice this week.
Fans are buying it at a 65% rate. It's funny because buy or sell often turns into hate voting, as we say. But I'm not really seeing that this week.
1-2 in a row.
That's right.
Haters are gone.
I'm perfectly aligned with the fans on this one this week. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, that's going to be.
Well, you won't gain or lose ground to them.
Well, I'm going to sell it and join Chris on that. I do think the punt return game is going to be the X factor in that line. Buying it are both David and Nick. So that is what the board looks like for this week. Best of luck to you as well at home if you voted to participate in this. Thank you for watching this edition of Buy or Sell. Make sure to watch the game on Saturday and see how we did, and we will see you next week as we have another edition on Tech Sideline.